Maya Johnson sat on the edge of her bed. Today was a big day. After 5 years of hard work, her small tech company had a chance to grow. She looked at her phone again. The email was still there. Investors in San Francisco wanted to meet her. They might give her money to make her business bigger. Maya packed her bag carefully. One nice suit, some casual clothes, and all her company papers. Her hand shook a little as she zipped the suitcase shut. This meeting could change everything. On her way to the airport, Maya thought about her life. She had grown up in a small house with her mom and 2 sisters. Money was always tight. But Maya was smart. She loved math and computers. She got a scholarship to college, where she learned to make software. She worked hard and got a job at a big tech company. But Maya saw a problem. Many people like her family didn't know how to save money or start businesses. Banks didn't help them. So 3 years ago, Maya quit her job and started her own company. She made an app to teach people about money. It was doing well, but she needed more money to make it bigger. At the airport, Maya waited in line to check in. She had spent most of her savings on this trip. She even bought a first-class ticket. The meeting was early tomorrow, and she wanted to be well rested. She had never flown first class before. "Next, please," the airline worker called. Maya stepped forward with a smile. "I'd like to check in for the San Francisco flight," Maya said. She handed over her ID. The worker typed on her computer. "Economy class is boarding at 2:30. "Actually, I have a first-class ticket," Maya said. The worker looked up, surprised. She looked at Maya again, at her simple clothes and natural hair. "First class. Let me check again." Her tone had changed. Maya felt her face get hot. She knew that look. She had seen it many times. "Yes, you're right," the worker said finally. "Gate 12. First class boards at 1:45. Maya took her boarding pass and walked away. Her good mood was gone now. She sat at her gate and watched people walk by. Most of the people waiting for first class were white men in suits. A few looked at her and then looked away quickly. "Now boarding first-class passengers for Flight 302 to San Francisco," a voice announced. Maya stood up and got in line. She handed her boarding pass to the gate agent. The agent looked at it for a long time. "Is something wrong?" Maya asked. No, the agent said. "Go ahead." On the plane, Maya found her seat, 3A, a window seat in first class. She put her small bag in the overhead bin and sat down. The seat was big and soft. For a moment, she felt happy again. A flight attendant walked by, then stopped and came back. "Excuse me," she said to Maya. "Can I see your boarding pass?" Maya showed it to her. The flight attendant looked at it, then at Maya. "This seat isn't for you," she said loudly. "This is first class." People turned to look. Maya felt her heart beating fast. "My ticket says seat 3A, Maya said, keeping her voice calm. "This is 3A. "There must be a mistake," the flight attendant said. "Let me see your ticket again." A white man in a suit stood in the aisle, waiting. He looked annoyed. The flight attendant checked Maya's ticket again. Then she checked something on her tablet. "I see," she said finally. Her voice was cold. "You are in the right seat." The man in the suit was moved to a different seat. Throughout the flight, Maya felt people watching her. Some looked curious. Others looked angry, as if she had stolen something. Maya tried to enjoy the comfortable seat and the nice food. But the words kept coming back to her. "This seat isn't for you." As the plane flew toward San Francisco, Maya made a promise to herself. One day, everyone would know her name. One day, no one would dare tell her where she didn't belong. Maya woke up early in her hotel room. Today was the big meeting. She showered and put on her best suit, dark blue with a white shirt. She had bought it 2 years ago when she started her company. It was the only expensive piece of clothing she owned. Her hand shook as she put on her small gold earrings. These were from her mother. "For luck," her mother had said. Maya looked in the mirror. You can do this, she told herself. You belong here. The tech company offices were in a tall glass building. Maya took a deep breath before she walked inside. The lobby was huge, with fancy art on the walls. A young man at the front desk smiled at her. I'm here to see Mr. Roberts, Maya said. I have a 9 o'clock meeting. Your name? He asked. Maya Johnson. The man typed on his computer. Then he looked up with a confused face. You're Maya Johnson, the CEO of Equal Future. Yes, Maya said. She was used to this look too. I'll let them know you're here, he said quickly. Maya sat down on a white couch. Her heart was beating fast. She opened her bag and checked her presentation one more time. Her app taught people how to save money, how to fix bad credit, and how to start small businesses. It was already helping thousands of people. With more money, it could help millions. Ms. Johnson, a woman in a gray suit, came out. I'm Sarah, Mr. Roberts' assistant. Please follow me. They went up in a glass elevator to the 40th floor. Maya could see the whole city from there. Sarah led her to a big meeting room where 5 people sat around a table. 4 men and 1 woman, all white. Ms. Johnson, welcome, said an older man as he stood up. I'm James Roberts. We've been looking forward to meeting you. Maya shook his hand. Thank you for seeing me. Your app has impressive growth numbers, said a younger man. We don't often see that kind of organic user adoption. Maya took out her laptop. May I show you more? For the next hour, Maya talked about her company. She showed them how the app worked. She showed them numbers, how many people used it, how it was growing every month. She told them about her plans to add new features and reach more people. The investors asked hard questions. Maya answered each one clearly. She knew her business. She knew her users. She knew what they needed. When she finished, the room was quiet for a moment. Ms. Johnson, Mr. Roberts said finally, what you've built is remarkable, especially with such limited resources. Maya waited. Her stomach felt tight. We would like to invest in Equal Future, he said. $5 million to start. Maya could hardly believe what she heard. $5 million. It was more than she had hoped for. Thank you, she said, trying to keep her voice steady. I won't let you down. After signing some first papers, Maya left the building. The bright sun hit her face. She had done it. She had really done it. She thought about the flight attendant from yesterday. This seat isn't for you. The words still hurt. But now Maya had a chance to make sure that one day, people like her would have seats everywhere. She called her mother from the street. Mom, they said yes. They're giving us $5 million. Her mother screamed with joy. I knew you could do it, baby. I always knew. Maya found a quiet coffee shop and sat down. She opened her laptop and began to plan. With this money, she could hire more people. She could make the app better. She could advertise. As she typed, Maya felt different, stronger. Yesterday, she had been just another black woman being told where she didn't belong. Today, she was the CEO of a company worth millions. This is just the beginning, Maya whispered to herself as she worked. Just the beginning. 5 years passed. Maya's company, Equal Future, grew bigger than she had ever dreamed. The app now helped over 2 million people learn about money and start saving. Maya had offices in 3 cities and 65 employees. Every morning, Maya walked into her main office in Chicago. The company's name was on the front of the building in big blue letters. Sometimes she still couldn't believe it was real. Good morning, Miss Johnson, said the guard at the front desk. Good morning, Sam, Maya said with a smile. How's your son doing in college? He's doing great. That scholarship from your foundation is helping so much. Maya nodded happily. Last year, she had started the Equal Future Foundation. It gave money to help young people from poor areas go to college. 20 students now had these scholarships. In her office, Maya looked at her busy day. She had 5 meetings and 2 video calls. Her assistant, Tom, brought her coffee. "The new app update is ready," Tom said. "The team wants to show it to you at 10. "Great," Maya said. "And don't forget I need to leave early for my flight to New York. I'm speaking at the Tech Future conference tomorrow." At the 10 o'clock meeting, Maya's tech team showed her the new app features. Now users could get small loans to start businesses. The app would teach them how to use the money wisely and help them pay it back. "This looks perfect," Maya said. "When can we launch it?" "Next Monday," said Raj, her lead developer. "We've tested everything." "Let's do it," Maya agreed. After the meeting, Maya had lunch with her marketing team. They were planning a big TV campaign. For the first time, Equal Future would have commercials on national TV. "We've found the perfect actor for our main commercial," said Lisa, the marketing director. She showed Maya a photo on her tablet. Maya looked at it and shook her head. "No, I want real users in our commercials. Find people who have really used our app to change their lives." "But celebrities sell products better," Lisa argued. "We're not just selling a product," Maya said firmly. "We're changing lives. I want real stories." In the afternoon, Maya met with investors. Her company was now worth $200 million. The $5 million she had started with had grown into something much bigger. "We want to talk about going public," said Mr. Roberts, her first investor. "An IPO could value Equal Future at over $500 million. Maya thought about this carefully. Going public meant selling shares of her company on the stock market. It would bring in a lot of money. But it also meant more pressure and rules. "I'll think about it," she said. "But I won't do anything that changes our mission. We help people first. Making money comes second." At 4 o'clock, Maya left for the airport. This time, she had her own car and driver. As they drove past her old neighborhood, Maya felt proud. She had come so far. At the airport, things were different now. Maya had a special card that let her use the VIP line. No one questioned her first-class ticket. The airline staff were extra nice, hoping to get her business again. On the plane, the flight attendant knew her name. "Ms. Johnson, can I get you anything before takeoff?" "A glass of champagne, perhaps." Maya smiled. "Water is fine, thank you." As the plane took off, Maya looked out the window. She thought about that day 5 years ago when someone had told her, "This seat isn't for you." Now, at 32 years old, Maya was one of the most successful black women in tech. Forbes magazine had put her on its cover last month. Her app was changing lives every day. But Maya knew her work wasn't done. There were still too many people being told they didn't belong. Too many doors closed to them. This is just the middle of the story, Maya thought as the plane flew through the clouds. Not the end. 3 more years passed. Maya's company was now bigger than she had ever imagined. Equal Future had gone public last year. On the first day of trading, the company was worth $900 million. Maya herself was now worth over $400 million. She had moved to a big office on the top floor of her building. From her window, she could see all of Chicago. But Maya didn't spend much time looking at the view. She was too busy. "Ms. Johnson, your 2 o'clock is here," said her new assistant, Rachel. "Send them in," Maya said. A group of college students walked in. They were from poor neighborhoods in Chicago. Maya's foundation was giving them money to start small businesses. "Tell me your ideas," Maya said, smiling at them. For the next hour, the students talked about their business plans. One wanted to start a healthy food store in her neighborhood. Another had an idea for a mobile car repair service. A third wanted to make an app to help people find low-cost medical care. Maya listened carefully. At the end, she said, "All of you will get the money you need, and I'll connect each of you with a mentor from my company." The students thanked her and left. Maya felt good. This was why she had built Equal Future, to give people like these students a chance. Later that day, Maya was in a video meeting with her board members. They were discussing opening offices in Europe. Suddenly, Rachel came in with an urgent look. "I'm sorry to interrupt," Maya said to the board members. "Can we take a short break?" When the video was off, Rachel handed Maya her tablet. "You need to see this." Maya looked at the screen. It showed a news story. National Airways facing bankruptcy. 35,000 jobs at risk. Maya felt a jolt. National Airways. She would never forget that name. It was the airline where she had been told, "This seat isn't for you" 8 years ago. According to the news, the airline had made bad business decisions. They had bought too many new planes just before a big drop in travel. Now they couldn't pay their bills. If they went bankrupt, 35,000 people would lose their jobs. Maya handed the tablet back to Rachel. "Get me everything you can find about National Airways' financial situation, and try to set up a call with their CEO." "Their CEO?" Rachel looked surprised. "Are you thinking of investing in them?" Maya wasn't sure yet. Part of her thought the airline deserved what was happening to it, but another part of her thought about the thousands of people who worked there. Flight attendants, pilots, ground crew, office workers. Most of them had nothing to do with how she was treated that day. "Just get me the information," Maya said. "I need to think about this." After her board meeting, Maya went home to her apartment. It was large and beautiful, on the 30th floor of a luxury building. But she hadn't decorated it much. She was too busy to spend time at home. Maya made herself a simple dinner and sat at her table. On her tablet, she read everything about National Airways. The situation was bad. The airline needed at least $100 million to survive. Even then, it would be hard. Her phone rang. It was Rachel. "Ms. Johnson, I got you a call with National Airways CEO, David Wilson, tomorrow at 9 a.m. "Thank you, Rachel," Maya said. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about National Airways. She remembered how small and powerless she had felt that day on the plane. Now she had power. She could help save the company or let it fail. What should she do? Maya got up and stood by her window, looking at the city lights. Sometimes having power meant making hard choices. "What's the right thing to do?" she whispered to herself. Maya called a meeting at National Airways headquarters. All the top executives were there, sitting around a long table. They looked nervous. David Wilson, the CEO, sat at one end. Maya sat at the other. "Thank you all for coming," Maya said. "I spent the last week looking at your company very carefully. Your finances, your operations, and most importantly, your people." The room was quiet. Everyone waited for Maya to continue. "National Airways needs $100 million to avoid bankruptcy," she said. "I'm prepared to provide that money as a loan." There were gasps around the table. Some executives looked at each other in shock. Wilson leaned forward, his eyes wide. "Ms. Johnson, that's incredibly generous," he began. "I'm not finished," Maya said firmly. "This loan comes with conditions, important ones." She opened her tablet and began to list her terms. "First, National Airways will create a new training program for all employees. This program will focus on diversity, respect, and treating all customers equally." The executives nodded. "Second, the airline will start a scholarship program for minority students who want to become pilots or work in aviation. This program will support 20 students each year." More nods around the table. "Third, National Airways will create a clear policy that protects passengers from discrimination. Any employee who violates this policy will face serious consequences." "Of course," Wilson said quickly. "And fourth," Maya continued, "I want a seat on your board of directors. I need to make sure these changes actually happen." This last condition made some executives look uncomfortable. Having Maya on the board meant she would have real power in the company. "These are my terms," Maya said. "Take them or leave them." Wilson looked at his team, then back at Maya. "We accept your terms, all of them. You've saved this airline, Ms. Johnson." "I haven't saved anything yet," Maya said. "The hard work is just beginning." Maya's lawyer came forward with papers for everyone to sign. As Maya watched the executives write their names, she thought about how far she had come. From being told she didn't belong in a seat to now having a seat at the most powerful table in the company. After the meeting, Maya walked through the airline's offices. People recognized her from the news. Some stopped to thank her. Others just stared in surprise. An older black woman who worked in the accounting department approached her. "Ms. Johnson, can I speak with you for a moment?" "Of course," Maya said. "I've worked here for 32 years, the woman said. "I've seen how this company treats people who look like us. What you're doing, it matters. It really matters." Maya nodded. "That's why I'm doing it." Later that day, Maya held a meeting with all National Airways employees. Over video call, thousands of workers from across the country watched as she explained her plan to save the company. "I'm not doing this just to save jobs," she told them. "I'm doing this to change how things work. Everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly, no matter what they look like or where they come from." The employees applauded. Many had tears in their eyes. They had been afraid of losing everything. Now they had hope. That evening, as Maya flew back to Chicago on her private jet, she thought about the company she had just saved. Was she doing the right thing? Only time would tell. Her phone rang. It was Rachel. "Ms. Johnson, the news about your investment in National Airways is everywhere. Reporters are calling nonstop for interviews. Tell them I'll make a statement tomorrow," Maya said. She looked out the window at the sunset. The story of the black woman saving the airline that once discriminated against her would make headlines around the world. But for Maya, this wasn't about headlines. It was about making real change. Sometimes, she thought, the best way to fix a broken system is from the inside. The next morning, Maya got ready for her video call with David Wilson, the CEO of National Airways. She put on a blue shirt and made sure her home office looked professional. She still wasn't sure what she would say to him. At exactly 9 a.m., her computer screen lit up. A white-haired man in a dark suit appeared. "Ms. Johnson, thank you for taking this call," David Wilson said. He looked tired and worried. "I must admit, I was surprised when your office contacted us." "Mr. Wilson," Maya said with a nod, "I've been reading about National Airways problems." "Yes, it's a difficult time for us," he said. "We made some poor decisions, and now we're paying for them. But it's our employees who will suffer the most if we fail." Maya looked at him carefully. "Tell me more about those employees." For the next 20 minutes, Wilson talked about the people who worked for National Airways. Many had been with the company for decades. They had families to support, health insurance they would lose, retirement plans that would be gone. "We've tried everything," Wilson said. "Banks won't lend to us anymore. Other airlines don't want to buy us because of our debt. We have maybe 3 weeks before we have to shut down." Maya was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Mr. Wilson, do you know why I wanted to talk to you?" He shook his head. "I assumed you might be interested in buying some of our assets if we go bankrupt. Our flight routes or maybe our newer planes." "No," Maya said. 8 years ago, I was a passenger on one of your flights. I had a first-class ticket that I had saved for months to buy. A flight attendant told me, 'This seat isn't for you.' She assumed I didn't belong there because I was black." Wilson's face turned red. "Ms. Johnson, I'm deeply sorry that happened to you. That kind of behavior is—" Maya held up her hand to stop him. "I'm not telling you this for an apology. I'm telling you because that moment stayed with me. It made me work harder. It made me determined to succeed. And now, ironically, I might be in a position to help save your airline." Wilson looked shocked. "You would consider helping us after being treated that way?" "I'm considering it," Maya said, "but I would have conditions." "What kind of conditions?" Wilson asked. "First, I want to see your company's complete financial records. Second, I want to know what you're doing about diversity and inclusion in your airline. And third, I want to meet with some of your employees, not executives, but regular workers." Wilson nodded quickly. Of course, we can arrange all of that. Good, Maya said. I'll have my team contact you to set everything up. I'll need a week to look things over before I make any decision. After the call ended, Maya sat thinking. Part of her still wanted to let the airline fail. It would feel like justice for what happened to her. But she kept thinking about those 35,000 workers. They hadn't done anything wrong. Maya called Rachel. Set up a meeting with my financial team for this afternoon. And I need to block next Tuesday for a visit to National Airways headquarters. Over the next few days, Maya's team went through National Airways financial records. The situation was bad, but not hopeless. With the right help and better management, the airline could survive. On Tuesday, Maya flew to Atlanta where National Airways had its main office. This time, she flew on her private jet. Things had changed a lot in 8 years. At the airline's headquarters, Maya met with workers from different departments: flight attendants, mechanics, customer service representatives. She asked them about their jobs, their families, what they liked about working for the airline. One older flight attendant had tears in her eyes. I've been here for 27 years. This company is my family. I don't know what I'll do if it closes. By the end of the day, Maya had made her decision. The news of Maya's $100 million loan to National Airways spread quickly. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. Everyone wanted to talk to her. TV shows, newspapers, radio stations. Maya chose to do just one interview with a black woman reporter she had long admired. Ms. Johnson, the reporter asked, why did you save a company that once treated you so badly? Maya thought carefully before answering. I didn't save the company. I saved 35,000 jobs. And I created a chance to fix something broken. The reporter nodded. Some people are calling you a hero. Others say you should have let the airline fail. What do you think? I'm not interested in being a hero, Maya said. I'm interested in making things better. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying something. It's changing it. Over the next 6 months, Maya split her time between Equal Future and National Airways. As a board member at the airline, she made sure her conditions were met. The diversity training program was created. The scholarship for minority students in aviation was set up, and the new passenger protection policy was written. Maya also pushed for more changes. She suggested hiring more minority pilots and flight attendants. She asked for healthier food options on flights. She wanted better pay for ground workers. Some of the other board members didn't like Maya's ideas. They thought she was asking for too much too fast. We've always done things this way, one old board member said. And that's exactly the problem, Maya replied. At first, the changes at National Airways were slow. Some employees didn't want new training. Some managers didn't like the new rules. But Maya was patient. She knew big change took time. Then something surprising happened. National Airways started getting better. With new training, employees were happier at work. Passengers noticed the difference. They started choosing National Airways over other airlines. 1 year after Maya's loan, National Airways was making money again. The company that had been close to failure was now growing. At a special event to celebrate this turnaround, Maya stood on a stage in front of hundreds of airline employees. Behind her was a new airplane, freshly painted with the company's colors. 1 year ago, Maya said this company was about to close. Today, we're opening new flight routes. We're hiring new people. We're looking to the future. The crowd clapped and cheered. But more important than our financial success is the change in how we treat people, Maya continued. Every person who works for this airline matters. Every person who flies with us matters. No one should ever hear the words, "This seat isn't for you." The crowd stood up, clapping louder. After the event, a young black woman in a flight attendant uniform approached Maya. Ms. Johnson, my name is Tasha. I just wanted to thank you. For what? Maya asked. I was able to go to flight school because of your scholarship program. Now I work for National Airways. You changed my life. Maya smiled. That's exactly why I did this. That evening, Maya sat in her office looking at the latest reports from National Airways. The airline had paid back $20 million of her loan already. At this rate, they would pay it all back in 3 more years. But Maya wasn't thinking about the money. She was thinking about Tasha and other people like her. Young people who now had chances they wouldn't have had before. Her phone rang. It was David Wilson, the CEO of National Airways. "Ms. Johnson, I have some news. The board has voted. They want to name our new pilot training center after you, the Maya Johnson Center for Aviation Excellence." Maya was surprised. "That's not necessary." "It is necessary," Wilson said. "What you did for this company, for all of us, we can never repay that. This is just a small way to say thank you." Maya felt tears in her eyes. From "this seat isn't for you" to having a building with her name on it. The world could change. It really could. 2 years had passed since Maya saved National Airways. The airline was now doing better than ever. They had paid back half of Maya's loan already. The company was known for its good service and fair treatment of all passengers. On a cool spring morning, Maya got a special invitation. National Airways was opening the Maya Johnson Center for Aviation Excellence. They wanted her to cut the ribbon and give a speech. "I need to fly to Atlanta next Thursday," Maya told Rachel, her assistant. "National Airways is having a ceremony for their new training center." "I'll arrange everything," Rachel said. "Will you take your private jet?" Maya thought for a moment. "No, I want to fly on a regular National Airways flight. Book me a first-class ticket." Rachel looked surprised but nodded. The next Thursday, Maya went to the airport like any other passenger. She wore simple clothes, jeans, a white shirt, and a blue jacket. She didn't want special treatment. She wanted to see how the airline was working for regular people. At the check-in counter, the airline worker smiled at her. "Good morning, Ms. Johnson. It's an honor to have you flying with us today." "Thank you," Maya said. "I'm looking forward to it." As Maya walked to her gate, she noticed changes in the airport. National Airways had pictures of diverse pilots and flight attendants on their walls. Their signs were in multiple languages. Even their uniforms were different, more comfortable and practical. At the gate, several passengers recognized Maya. Some asked for pictures with her. Others just smiled and nodded respectfully. When it was time to board, Maya stood in line with everyone else. The gate agent checked her ticket and said, "Welcome aboard, Ms. Johnson. We're so glad to have you with us today." On the plane, Maya found her first-class seat and sat down. She thought about that day 8 years ago. Same airline, same seat class. Very different experience. A flight attendant came by. "Ms. Johnson, it's an honor to serve you today. Can I get you anything before takeoff?" "Just water, please," Maya said. As other passengers boarded, Maya noticed something interesting. The first-class cabin was diverse. There were people of different races, ages, and styles. It wasn't just white businessmen in suits like before. During the flight, Maya watched how the crew worked. They were respectful to everyone. They didn't make assumptions about who belonged where. The training programs were working. When the plane landed in Atlanta, the captain's voice came over the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special passenger with us today. Ms. Maya Johnson, whose investment saved our airline and whose vision has made us better, is on this flight. She's here for the opening of the training center named in her honor. Let's give her a round of applause." The plane filled with clapping and cheers. Maya felt her face get warm. She hadn't expected this. As she left the plane, the entire crew stood in a line to thank her. The captain, an older black man, shook her hand firmly. "My daughter just started pilot training in your center," he told Maya. 20 years ago, there was no place for her in this industry. You changed that." At the airport, a car was waiting to take Maya to the new training center. As they drove, she saw a large billboard with National Airways' new slogan, "Every seat is for you." Maya smiled. Those words were the opposite of what she had heard that day long ago. The airline had truly changed. The new training center was a large, modern building. Hundreds of people waited outside for the opening ceremony. When Maya stepped out of the car, they cheered loudly. David Wilson, still the CEO, greeted her with a warm handshake. "We wouldn't be here without you, Ms. Johnson. This day belongs to you." Maya looked at the building with her name on it. Then she looked at the diverse crowd of employees and students. This was what real change looked like. "No," she said to Wilson. "This day belongs to all of us." 5 years had passed since Maya saved National Airways. Today was a special day. The airline had finally paid back all of her $100 million loan, with interest. Maya was at National Airways headquarters for a small ceremony. "This check represents the final payment of our debt to you," David Wilson said, handing Maya a large paper check. Cameras flashed as they shook hands. "Thank you," Maya said. But the money was never the most important part. After the ceremony, Maya and Wilson sat in his office, looking at charts showing the airline's growth. "We're now the third largest airline in the country," Wilson said proudly. "And we have the highest customer satisfaction ratings." "And the diversity numbers?" Maya asked. Wilson smiled. 40% of our new pilots are women. 35% are people of color. The Maya Johnson Center has changed everything." Maya nodded, pleased. This was her real legacy, not the money, but the change she had created. Later that day, Maya walked through the airport, watching National Airways in action. The staff was diverse. The passengers seemed happy. The airline's slogan, "Every seat is for you," was everywhere. As she was leaving, a young black girl, about 10 years old, stopped her. "Excuse me," the girl said. "Are you Maya Johnson?" "Yes, I am," Maya replied, smiling. "I did my school project about you," the girl said excitedly. "I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to build things and help people." The girl's mother came over, looking embarrassed. "I'm sorry to bother you, Ms. Johnson." "It's no bother at all," Maya said. She turned back to the girl. "What's your name?" "Zoe," the girl said. Maya knelt down to look Zoe in the eyes. "Zoe, you can be anything you want to be. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you don't belong somewhere." "I won't," Zoe promised. That evening, Maya flew back to Chicago on a National Airways flight. As the plane took off, she thought about how much had changed in 10 years. When she had been told, "This seat isn't for you," she could never have imagined where life would take her. Now, at 40 years old, Maya was one of the most successful and respected business leaders in America. Equal Future was worth billions. The app had helped millions of people learn about money and start businesses. Her foundation had sent hundreds of kids to college. And National Airways had become a model for other companies. Other airlines had copied their diversity programs. Other industries were following their example. As Maya looked out the window at the sunset, the flight attendant came by. "Ms. Johnson, the captain wanted me to give you this," she said, handing Maya a small box. Inside was a model airplane with National Airways colors. A note was attached. "Thank you for showing us that change is possible." The National Airways family. Maya felt tears in her eyes. She had turned pain into progress. She had used her success to open doors for others. When the plane landed in Chicago, Maya's driver was waiting. As they drove through the city, they passed a large billboard for Equal Future. It showed people of all colors and backgrounds, with the words, "Your future belongs to you." At home, Maya stood by her window, looking at the city lights. Her phone buzzed with a message. It was a picture from David Wilson, taken at the training center that day. 20 young pilot students stood in front of the building, smiling. Many were women. Many were people of color. The message said, "This is your real legacy." Maya smiled. From one painful moment on a plane, so much good had come. She had shown the world that when someone says, "This seat isn't for you," the best answer isn't anger. It's to build more seats for everyone. And that was Maya Johnson's greatest achievement. Not the billions she had earned, but the doors she had opened, the lives she had changed, and the seats she had created for those who would come after her.